month.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
You want me to start from the
So
beginning?
this is the story of Uncanny Walrus.
Uncanny
So-
Walrus.
So sorry.
Hold on, I
I'm
gotta
dead,
sit down
so
for this. It's a very long story.
yeah.
Okay.
I heard a bit of
Sit.
it, but
Story time.
there's also
Okay.
Newt.
It started in 2018 when I was 8 years old.
What are you looking at, bro?
I went to a mental hospital in Springfield. Not
Sorry, let me
Springfield,
pause.
Illinois. It's Springfield, Missouri. Don't touch me, bro. I'm trying to tell my son. I got put into the facility. The first thing that my therapist, I went into therapy.
Is that from the?
And the first thing she said to me after I talked to her is, we need to put you in a mental hospital.
But they didn't even
Now,
come out.
this therapist, terrible.
They were,
The
like,
person,
stuck, I
the
thought.
people that were working with said therapist did not like them. I had to go to their office almost every day after I got into the facility, and I had to get
I should
my
Kate
blood
stop.
drawn.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm listening to the story now.
So got in there. First day, I got put into a room with a old man that I do not know, and I had to
I'm gonna blind them.
basically spill everything.
Wait, hold on. Let me turn off your avatar first. Okay, now you can.
I was thinking da-da-da. Oh, also, instead of like my parents driving me up there, like my mom driving me up there, they had a total stranger pick me up, drive me up all the way to Kansas City and back. Two different strangers. And then the second time I went, it was the same thing. And it takes an entire day to get from
Nah, I'd win.
Point A
where
to
I
point B.
lived to Kansas City. Yeah.
Why does he have a pig
So,
avatar on?
you know, that's fun. I was in the car with a total of 4 strangers.
Hold on.
But this has like all the fucking.
It's the
4 different
the
strangers.
one that goes like dun, 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 dun,
Okay, so we're talking about the first time. Brought me into the room. I told them about the thing I kept seeing in my dreams. I told them all that, da-da-da. They put me into a room. The first room that I
Okay.
had, I was alone. There was no bedding or anything. It was just a very hard, like, it was a pillow with a plastic cover, and then a plastic bed. And I had to sleep in there for a night.
Holy.
And then when I came out, it was breakfast time. Okay, we went and sat there. All they had was, you could either have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or you could have beans. And I got the peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I don't like beans. And that's all I ate there was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And if they didn't have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they only had beans or something, I would not eat.
Makes
we
sense.
would get small cups of soda with each meal. And
Soda.
if we really wanted or needed a drink, we had to get it from like the sink in our bathrooms. There was like a bathroom in each room. All the time.
It was like
they're
a prison.
locked. Now, if you need to shower, it doesn't matter if you're showering. It doesn't matter if you're on your period and you need to change the pad or something. Doesn't matter if you're just trying to use the bathroom. They will stand at the door and watch you the entire time.
What
to make sure you don't quote unquote hurt yourself. But there was a male doctor one time. Didn't watch me, but it was before I got there. The male doctor watched one of the friends I made there. And he was creepy. He turned out to be a pedophile and got fired, and now he's in jail.
Well, luckily he's in jail.
Yeah. Then you
Continue.
heard about...
Come here, smoker. This is honestly crazy.
Pissing on myself because nobody would let me into the bathroom.
Kinda hot.
I was waiting a total of 30 minutes. 5 people got to go before me, even though I was the first one that asked. And they just let me piss myself. And then after I did that, they got mad. Like it was my fault. It wasn't my fault. I physically could not hold it anymore because of how long I'd been waiting.
Okay, you're just so quiet.
And then, you know, we would get to watch movies sometimes, but it was very rarely. It was on a tiny screen. Kids would stab each other with
Nightshade, can you get out of the way?
pens and
Thank you.
pencils. We got to play with one time,
Can you
and
stop?
there was a kid who
I'm filming a video.
grabbed a handful of them, and
okay, my
he
bad,
started
my bad.
throwing them everywhere. And one hit me in the eye, and then
Holy-
people didn't
What
really
the
do anything
hell?
about it. They didn't say, "Oh, are you okay?"
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They
I
just
just
put the kid in his room. And then the next day, the same kid was the one who sexually assaulted me. Broke
What?
out of his room butt naked, peed on all the walls, peed on a staff member. I didn't mention that before. He peed on a staff member, and he was constantly like rubbing his wiener up against me or slapping me with it for 5 minutes straight before anybody intervened. And there was like 10 staff members and other kids just watching it happen. The kids were shocked and they were scared, so they wouldn't come near. And then the staff members were just like, "Oh, he's a little boy, it's fine." Da da da. He was old enough to know better.
Bruh, he like sexually harassed you.
Sexually assaulted.
I mean, both, but
Yeah. And hold on, I'm gonna fix my sitting position.
Bro got a shield.
They would usually they're supposed to when they have to give kids the shot that makes them calm down. They usually pull them into a padded room that is noise proof, so the other kids don't freak out by hearing the screaming and stuff. They're not screaming because they're in pain. They're screaming because they're trying to get away. They didn't have that. So multiple times, kids, instead of being taken or like picked up gently and tried to get to calm down, they would drag them. If they sat on the floor, they would just drag them into a room, and then stab them with the needle as hard, like really hard, and then
job
they
done.
didn't strap them down or anything like they're supposed to do. So they strap them down for their safety sometimes. Like if they're moving too much, they didn't do that. They just stabbed the syringe in them, and we heard the screaming
job
and
done.
crying. It's terrible.
There we go. Now I can
There was cameras in all the rooms, in the corner of all the rooms, so they watched us sleep. There was cameras in the bathrooms.
Okay.
And sometimes the older people, they would bust out of their unit and try to bust into our unit.
It's already on.
Because they knew there was one person, he was in there because he
That's very bright.
touched a child.
What?
You seem cool.
Pedophile.
He had a bunch of mental problems and he touched children.
My brother.
So they had to send
Luckily,
him
I didn't go to a mental hospital
before prison. And he tried to bust into our unit one time. So if the door wasn't so heavy and locked, he would have came in there, and it would have been...
Ding ding ding.
I remember my dad and my grandma, they came to visit me. They're the only people who visited me. My mom, who...
How did you do the fucking blue?
is terrible. She's a bad mother. After I got up there, she wouldn't call me like she was allowed to. She was allowed to call me. Anyone who I wanted to be able to call me could call me if I knew their phone number.
Holy.
Okay, well, my mom didn't notify my dad about me being in a mental hospital. She thought she could keep it from him, like she tries to do a lot of stuff. But eventually he drove up here with my grandma, and a very bad tornado was going on while they were driving up here, but they didn't stop. They were coming to see me. They didn't care. They stopped for a bit till it got a little better, and then they just started right back on the road. And when there was a tornado, we were on like a third or fourth floor of the building, and they put us in this room with yellow lights. It's just like a yellow room with warm lighting. Nothing on the floor, nails exposed on the floor every now and then. We had to just lay on the ground, huddled up in a group, and there was like 3 windows in there. So even We weren't
Wow,
safe.
wow, they're really
But we were in the
smart.
middle of a tornado. Yeah. If you didn't take your medication, or if you had a hard time taking your medicine with the little drink of water that they gave you, they would either give you, if you were a good kid, they would just give you another cup of water. But if you were being difficult, they would pry open your mouth and shove the medicine down your throat.
Just force it in.
Yep. Yep.
Holy.
Second time though wasn't as bad. There was this really creepy guy who was obsessed. He had autism, but he also liked to touch
I also have autism, but I don't touch
inappropriately
people.
and stuff. And there was a 4-year-old in there, and he, mind you, he was like 14 years old, and there was like a 4 to 6-year-old in
Okay.
there, and he liked her. He liked all of the girls in there, and he would try to touch all of the girls, or he would make comments on all of the girls. Okay, he was obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. Weird.
Okay, that's
In a very weird way.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to.
No, I'm not saying Five Nights at Freddy's weird. I was like, it's a in a weird way. He said,
Oh, okay. I was
when
like,
we're,
dude, Five Nights at
we're
Freddy's is
older,
really cool.
you're gonna be my partner, and you're gonna kill people, and I'm gonna make the suits and put them in it. I was like, okay. I had to sit right next to him, and he would constantly like reach over and try to grab my leg or my thigh. I was like, no. Eventually, he got put in a room by himself because I started telling on him, and so did the rest of the girls. That's about it for the second one. Yeah, I went to Royal Oaks, and then I don't remember the name of the other one. I just know it was in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
And the other one was in Kansas City.
You know what? Let me actually tell you a
Missouri.
story about my childhood.
Mhm.
When I was a child, I like was like blabbing like stories when I was a child, and my parents thought I was not okay. So there was almost a chance of me going to a mental hospital. But when I went to school, they found out that I have autism. Yeah, and that's
Lovely.
and now I'm on a special school.
Yay!
We
Oh
love
my
special
God.
school. I don't know who the fuck that is. Is that like a famous person, or is that somebody doxing someone?
I don't know, but that was Walrus's story.
Yeah, I do not know that person.
And that was one of the many stories. If you want to hear
Wow.
about my childhood with my mother, that's gonna take a long time.
Well,
'cause
let's
that's
do
like
that
12
other
years.
time, okay? Because
Yeah,
This
over
is
12
Patrick.
years of abuse. I will tell you right now, and this will tell you all you need to know about my mom. She gave birth to me and my siblings only so she could get extra paychecks from
how
the
about
government.
we not tell tomorrow today and just tell like another day?
Yeah.
Because I have to I have some videos I have to upload and like some game things.
YouTube?
Yeah, I do YouTube.
Are you uploading my story to YouTube?
I mean, if you want with consent.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, thank you.